The Green Bay Packers have officially decided to part ways with cornerback Jaire Alexander after 7 seasons of ups and downs with the team. This move comes after months of internal debates and uncertainty surrounding his future in Green Bay. The organization faced a tough choice: trade him, keep him despite injuries, or cut ties altogether. Ultimately, they chose to release him, making a clean break that signals a new chapter for both sides. For the Chicago Bears and other NFC North rivals, this development could have significant implications. When healthy, Jaire Alexander is undeniably one of the top cornerbacks in the league, a shutdown defender capable of changing the complexion of any secondary. However, the biggest concern that shadows his talent is his injury history, which has been a persistent issue over the past several seasons. Alexander's availability has been limited by multiple injuries, and that has dramatically affected his on-field presence. Over the last 4 years, he has missed an extraordinary number of games, 34 in total, due to various ailments that prevented him from consistently contributing at his highest level. The injuries raise legitimate questions about durability and whether teams should invest heavily in a player whose availability can't be guaranteed. Green Bay seemed to struggle with this balance as well, as they wrestled with whether to trade him in the offseason or hold on to him in hopes he would rebound. Early in the offseason, reports indicated that the Packers were actively exploring trade options, with the Buffalo Bills even entering talks at one point. However, those discussions ultimately fell through, leading Green Bay to hold on to Alexander longer than many expected. That missed trade window is widely seen as a misstep by the Packers front office. When Alexander was still healthy, he commanded all-pro status and could have brought a valuable late-round draft pick in exchange. But as the months dragged on, no team was willing to meet Green Bay's asking price given the risk posed by his injury history. The draft came and went, and the opportunity to find a trade partner at a reasonable cost slipped away. As a result, the Packers found themselves in a position where releasing Alexander was the only viable option, especially since his contract demands and injury concerns limited their flexibility moving forward. This decision leaves the Packers with a notably thin cornerback group. They didn't draft a cornerback until the 7th round, which many analysts view as a glaring sign of mismanagement given the importance of the position and the gap left by Alexander's departure. This quarterback room shortage is compounded by an already shaky defense. The Packers' defensive backfield is now left with young players like Nate Hobbs and Keyshawn Nixon, who are still developing and have yet to prove themselves as reliable starters. Both Hobbs and Nixon are generally considered third-string cornerbacks at best, and the team lacks a clear-cut number 1 corner after Alexander's exit. Meanwhile, Kalen King, another cornerback on the roster, has yet to show the caliber necessary to start in the NFL. Pair that with an average pass rush and a defensive line that, while solid in spots, lacks a truly dominant presence, and it becomes clear that Green Bay faces challenges on the defensive side of the ball. Devontae Wyatt and Rashawn Gary provide some strength up front, but the overall defensive unit could struggle without a lockdown corner like Alexander to cover top receivers. For the Bears, this situation creates an intriguing dynamic. Chicago's defense, especially the secondary, has been an area of focus, and the possibility of adding a player like Alexander, even with injury concerns, has sparked conversation among fans and analysts alike. If Alexander could return to full health, pairing him with Jalen Johnson might form one of the best cornerback duos in the NFL. However, the injury history is a significant red flag. Missing over 20 games in the past 2 seasons alone, and with more missed games stretching back even further, Alexander's durability is a major question mark. The Bears currently have other options at cornerback, including Tyreek Stevenson, Terrell Smith, and Zay Frazier, all of whom have shown promise and are still developing. Considering these factors, it seems unlikely that Chicago would heavily pursue Alexander, especially given the risks involved. Financial considerations also play a role. Alexander's contract situation is complex with guaranteed money and incentives. That could impact the salary cap differently depending on where he signs next. While his deal might not break the bank outright, the Bears have other pressing needs that may take priority, such as bolstering the pass rush or adding depth at linebacker. The team appears content with their current secondary group for now, and may prefer to invest resources in other areas of the roster. Still, The news about Alexander's release is significant for the division overall, signaling a shift in the balance of power and opening up opportunities for other teams to capitalize. Meanwhile, the running back market is also seeing some notable movement. Nick Chubb's situation, for example, seems to be nearing resolution as he is expected to sign with the Houston Texans pending a physical exam. Although it's not yet official, reports indicate that Chubb is already in Houston, and the signing is largely a formality. Interestingly, Chubb reportedly received more lucrative offers from other teams, but may have opted for a contract with incentives to join the Texans, pairing with Joe Mixon in the backfield. This move has generated speculation about the Chicago Bears' interest in Chubb, but there has been little concrete evidence that Chicago is seriously involved in pursuing him. While rumors swirled and some insiders suggested the Bears could make sense as a landing spot due to their need for running back depth, no official visits or strong reports ever materialized. The Bears' current running back situation includes DeAndre Swift, who the team speaks highly of, as well as young players like Roshan Johnson and Kyle Manungi, who have impressed during off-season workouts. Given that, the Bears might be comfortable entering training camp with their existing group rather than making a splash signing. Of course, the NFL is always unpredictable, and injuries or surprise cuts during preseason could create opportunities to add a back later in the offseason. Other free agent running backs remain available, including J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, Jamal Williams, and Cam Akers. Dobbins stands out as a veteran presence who had a solid year last season, but also carries his own injury history. Each of these options offers varying degrees of potential impact, but none appear to be surefire game changers at this point. Trade possibilities also remain on the table. Names like James Cook and Dameon Pierce have surfaced in discussions about potential running backs who might be available in deals. If the Bears decide they want to add a runner via trade, these players could come into play depending on how other teams adjust their rosters. The Bears front office seems poised to monitor the market carefully, but may be patient about making a move, focusing instead on development and internal options during training camp and the preseason. This approach could change quickly if injuries strike or if a clear opportunity arises, but for now, Chicago appears content to see how things shake out. The NFC North continues to evolve with these shifts, and as the Packers move on from Alexander and the Texans bring in Chubb, the division landscape remains dynamic. The Bears face key decisions ahead as they look to improve their roster and compete in a challenging division. The next few months will be crucial for evaluating player health, roster depth, and how teams adapt to the unexpected twists of the offseason. Fans can expect plenty of intrigue as training camps open and preseason games unfold, with every roster move potentially altering the balance of power in one of the NFL's most competitive divisions. As the NFC North gears up for another intense season, the ripple effects of the Packers' decision to release Jaire Alexander are becoming more apparent. Green Bay's cornerback room now faces significant pressure, and their defensive backfield could be vulnerable in key matchups. Without a clear number one cornerback, opposing offenses might look to exploit the Packers' secondary, which places more responsibility on the pass rush and linebackers to compensate. This shift could open the door for the Bears to capitalize defensively if they continue to develop their secondary and enhance their pass rush capabilities. The Bears, under head coach Matt Eberflus and defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley, have shown promise in improving their defense, particularly in the secondary. Hafley's system emphasizes aggressive coverage and complex schemes designed to confuse quarterbacks and create turnovers. With players like Jalen Johnson stepping up and promising young talent gaining experience, Chicago's defense looks poised to take a step forward. Adding someone of Alexander's caliber, if he were healthy and fit, would have instantly elevated their cornerback group. But the risks surrounding his availability are significant enough that the Bears seem more comfortable focusing on their current roster. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy, drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. There's a growing buzz in the NFL world surrounding the Atlanta Falcons and one of their key defensive players, Grady Jarrett. Rumors have been swirling after Bears head coach Ben Johnson reportedly declared he won't play for me anymore in reference to Jarrett. Although no official statements have been released from the Bears or the Falcons, this cryptic remark has sparked intense speculation about Jarrett's future and the potential shakeups in the league's defensive lineups. Grady. Jarrett has long been considered one of the most formidable defensive tackles in the NFL, known for his relentless pressure and ability to disrupt opposing offenses. His presence on the field often changes the momentum of a game, making him a prized asset for any team. The possibility that Ben Johnson, who recently took over the coaching reins at Chicago Bears, might have ruled out playing Jarrett on his squad raises numerous questions about the dynamics behind the scenes. Is it a clash of coaching philosophy? Could it be personality conflicts or perhaps contract disputes? Fans and analysts alike are eager to uncover the truth behind this intriguing statement. Ben Johnson, stepping into his role with a vision to reshape the Bears, might be signaling a strategic shift away from certain players or styles of play. The suggestion that Jarrett won't play for me anymore hints at potential disagreements or decisions that could affect not only the Bears' defensive scheme, but also Jarrett's career trajectory. Could the Falcons be looking to retain Jarrett with a fresh contract? Or might another team be lurking in the background, ready to swoop in if the Bears decide to release or trade the defensive powerhouse? The timing of this remark also raises eyebrows. With the NFL offseason in full swing, rumors tend to intensify as teams evaluate their rosters and plan for upcoming drafts and trades. Jarrett's status has always been a hot topic, but this latest development adds a layer of intrigue that could lead to unexpected moves. Will we see Jarrett switching jerseys sooner than expected, or is this simply a negotiating tactic on the part of the Bears coaching staff? For fans of both teams and NFL followers in general, this rumor opens up exciting possibilities. A move like this could redefine defensive matchups across the league and potentially ignite new rivalries or alliances. If Jarrett does end up out of Ben Johnson's plans, where will he land? The speculation alone is enough to keep the NFL grapevine buzzing for weeks to come. Until official announcements surface, the mystery remains. But one thing is clear: the relationship between Ben Johnson and Grady Jarrett is at the center of a developing story that could have major ripple effects in the NFL landscape. Stay tuned as more details emerge from what might become one of the most talked about storylines this season. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.